Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Wendy.
And welcome to the Toasted Marshmallow Adventures podcast.
Woo!
Tonight in the studio, we have comedian Tanya Cope.
Yes,
thank you so much for being here tonight. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This is like so exciting. I love this little location and all the fun stuff on the walls. It's just crazy.
Nice. What did you go with? Green? Is this green tonight?
Yeah, we went with green.
Theme.
Yeah, these all change colors, so it's yeah, I don't know. I always like the
Green
vibe in here. When people come in, they seem to like it as well. We got Eugene already chatting.
Hey, what?
Hey, Eugene.
Hi, baby. I love you. Oh, my gosh.
Awesome.
So sweet. I love him so much.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He was
Did you,
on a recent
you didn't
episode.
make a drink?
Yeah, I did. I just poured it in my Pepsi bottle.
Incognito.
I'm efficient redneck.
Yes.
Listen, I ain't going to dirty no dishes.
Yeah.
I ain't going to dirty no dishes.
Nice. So, you go.
Well, we saw you perform
once.
Yes, only one time.
Where was that?
And it was Idaho Comedy Fest, right?
No, it was during Tree Fort.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was a big
It was after the Pun Slam, and there was a open mic late at night in the back of Mad
So
Swede,
fun.
like a little room.
super
back there.
secret, go in the back
Yeah.
door kind of feel.
Yeah.
Oh, that was one of my worst performances ever.
Oh, and I loved you.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes.
Oh my Lord.
Yes.
I'm judging
Loved
you
it.
right now. I'm just saying. Like,
No, I thought it was really fun. Yeah, and
but that was a
energized.
fun night. That was
Yeah.
because we were all like, most of the civilian. No, I remember you guys too, because you guys were the only ones that weren't civilians that I didn't recognize. Everybody else was comedians, and we were just kind of fucking with each other and saying crazy stuff and pointing out things to each other, and that was beautiful. Family fight night. We've been having a few of those lately at some of these. Well, some of these open mics, you know, they with the pandemic, they've opened, they've closed, they've opened, they've closed, and so a lot of nights you show up and it's all comedians.
Oh dang!
And those are the best, worst nights to go.
Yeah.
Like I would recommend to anybody. Oh, Christina!
Oh yeah,
Hi,
she was
baby! Oh my God! Hi, hi, mom. Yeah, I'm kind of the de facto mom of.
Are you?
Yeah, kind of. I'm always looking out for him in the best and worst ways. But if you are a comedy fan listening to this, like really into comedy, go to the open mics. No, it's not as good. I'll tell you right now, it's not as good as going to the Netflix show.
Yeah.
But it gives you an idea what it takes to make it.
Yeah.
No kidding.
You know,
Yeah.
every minute you watch on a good, polished Netflix special is 1,000 hours of writing,
Yes.
open mic,
Yes.
trying it out, figuring out the order, putting it all together. And it doesn't really click in your mind how much work it is until you go to an open mic and you see somebody that it's like, they're pretty good. And then you see them trying out a new joke and you go, God, they are awful. They are awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chris is kind of entertained here and there about like, maybe I should go to an open mic. Why don't you come with me? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
No way. No, I couldn't handle the.
Then I realized I'm a horrible writer.
The secondary embarrassment. I'm like just like sitting down and writing.
Yeah.
I am too. I have to, and that's why me at an open mic is particularly flammable because I have an idea.
Yeah.
And then I have to write live. I go up, I record everything that I say, and it's just like
so you're
we're gonna
just-
flow. We're just gonna do poquito shrooms and flow and see what happens. And sometimes, most of the time, it's garbage.
But you learn from that.
But I learn, and then it's like, oh, okay, and then I just like pan for the gold, and then I can write it out.
Yeah.
After I've made a fool out of myself. That's the only saving grace I have is that I've reached the point in life where the concept of embarrassment.
Don't have it.
It's like what? I
think that's awesome.
I've had children. I've had cancer. All my grandparents are dead. You know.
Yeah.
What? It's the ride is short.
Yeah.
The ride is short.
Truly. I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You don't realize that until you wake up one day and it's like, oh, God, I'm 50?
I know.
I was 16 yesterday.
I know. And you and I were just talking about how we feel like we're about 25 inside. So you can be talking to somebody that's 25, like, we're talking about the same shit, right? And they're like, at some point, they're like, you're super old. You know, like, you're like double my age. And you're like, oh, God, I forgot. Because we feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that's a shocker when you realize they're double.
Yeah.
You're double their age.
Like, not only could you be their parents, but...
Yes. Like, almost grandparents if it was
Yes.
back in the day when people had children young. So I was going to show you, we're talking about this because you guys used to do the workout things. So this is one of those things. At one point in my life, and I'm 5'2", for those who see me sitting down, I weighed 310 pounds.
Oh, my God. Amazing.
You don't even look the same. Hold on, I need some more
you
light
look like
on
a
that.
different human. So how old here?
Let's see. My son is
can
23 now. He's like 4 in that picture. So
Oh, congratulations.
yeah, and people are like,
That is no small feat, and then you've kept it off. That I think
I've
is,
come up a little, but never gotten like I've gone up to 180 again.
Yeah, but that wow, that's amazing. Because Chris and I have lost and gained weight, and the key is what I have not found is how to maintain.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, your body wants to fight you.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time getting to the point where I can maintain.
Yeah.
You know, to
Yeah.
that point.
Wow. How'd you do it?
Suffered. It was a lot of suffering. Yeah.
But you didn't have a surgery?
No,
It's
lap
just
band.
all
It was
willpower
well, and that was the thing too. Like, so I had a doctor's appointment, an annual checkup, and the doctor was like, and I had a pretty good relationship with the GP that I had at the time, and she was like, you know, you're going to have diabetes soon. Right. You don't have it yet, but you're going to have it soon.
How old?
I was, let's see, that was 20. So I would have been 30, early 30s. Wow. 30.
Just progressively getting heavier? Or
I had
was there
a really
bad
serious
time?
bout of depression.
Yeah.
And would just like dealt with all my feelings with eating. Therapy. If you're more than 40 pounds overweight, you probably are coping with something with sugar.
I agree.
So
Oh yeah.
it's
Let's
not
not
all
feel that.
exercise.
Yeah.
It's not all about, you know, people are like, oh, you're lazy and whatever.
Not so much, actually.
It's a really easy way
sugar
to.
And bad things happen
carbs
to me.
and
Yeah, bread.
Yeah.
It was not.
Yeah.
I could like dinner could be like get one of those Albertsons garlic bread loaves.
oh yeah.
Just warm it up and eat the entire thing.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
Not a piece.
No.
The entire thing.
No, yeah, we have that same
Yeah.
thing. So we try and like limit what comes in because what comes in will be finished.
It's gone.
Yeah, I was telling John, who's like always thin, he like gets it. He eats the right things and he's happy, and he actually probably eats chocolate every day, but he's still thin.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Chris and I go on binges where like whatever it is, it's gone. Like
Yeah,
2
you
days
just
of, like
you just
can't even imagine like what just disappeared.
Yeah. Need to find a new way to be obsessed with food.
Yeah.
Like I have a food scale in my kitchen and people are like, what are you weighing on? It's just food because it looks like a drug scale.
Oh, yeah. It's my
It's
Coke
just
and
food.
scale.
It's just food, but I weigh everything before it goes in my
Do you
mouth.
still?
Yeah.
You do now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Because
If
you don't get that size unless you're a food addict.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
unlike so many of the other things like alcohol or whatever, step 0 is quit.
Right.
Well, you can't ever quit food.
Right. Do you have addicts in your family then?
God.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's an alcoholic, or was.
So many.
Yeah.
So many. Yeah.
So, are you the only food addict?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Anybody get to your size?
Not in the immediate family, but in the extended family, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was some big
Interesting.
folk.
Yeah.
There's some big folk.
Yeah.
Yeah. But definitely a lot of diabetes in the family. Like plush people. I call them plush. Like,
Yeah.
right now I'm a little plush.
Yeah.
I'm not
think you're pretty amazing.
thin, but I'm not. Well, thank
Right,
you.
right.
You're adorable.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, it's an emergency overweight.
Yeah.
I actually feel like you were less than normal. I mean, we're all pretty not healthy.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I
totally
mean? I
not
think you look
healthy
really
most of
good.
the time.
Yeah.
Americans are in
We're
general
pretty-
a little overweight.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
We put sugar in everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of it.
Yeah, so Chris and I have only been eating like 2 salads a night and then half a turkey sandwich for dinner. And I'm thinking like it's the amount of ranch I'm putting because like I'm addicted to ranch, you know, and it has the sugar in it is the first thing I think.
There's a lot of them, like the secret corn syrup.
Yeah.
Like you read the
Yeah.
read the
I think
ingredients.
it's like the half cup of ranch daily. Like making it.
That could be
God.
probably.
So are you big into working out or did you work out to lose the weight or no, just straight diet?
Mostly diet. Some working out. I do like to like walk and kind of jog.
Oh,
like when you're that big, you can't run.
Yeah.
My knees were barely holding me up.
Yeah.
Barely. So I walked aggressively. I do like to do that sort of thing. You know, I grew up hunting, fishing, that sort of thing. So hiking around in nature feels right to me.
Yeah.
So I like that. I do like to do some free weights, and I do like to wrestle.
Oh, cool.
Oh, like actual wrestling?
Yeah, like
Were you at the
jujitsu.
Smackdown?
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, I was.
Oh,
were you?
nice.
I was.
Missed it.
I was.
Yeah, we were in
It was
town.
so
skiing.
crazy.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was so crazy.
Really?
First time tryout, I see the potential in that mix
Yeah.
of comedy and the local amateur wrestling.
Yeah.
I do see the potential. It wasn't. Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I think it has some room for development.
Did Eugene take down Jeremy?
No.
Because he totally was talking smack.
Yeah, it was.
The comedians did not wrestle each other.
Oh, okay.
Dang it.
But the best part was because Jeremy Nelson was a pro wrestler for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Here was the best part. I wish I would have been
Did
filming.
he come?
Well, no, he didn't come in but he was the only one, like, stepping through the ropes of a ring is a very specific skill.
Yeah.
That if you don't know what you're doing,
Get
they
all
fumble. He was the only one that was, like, stepped up and was like,
Yeah.
and just stepped through, like,
nice.
authority.
Yeah,
Like,
I've
I know
done
what I'm
this
doing. I've
before.
been here before.
Cool.
And I was like, Hercules! Just totally losing my mind.
love it.
Yeah.
Because there is a elegance to it, like comfort. Like
Yeah.
I've done this before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Screw you guys. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Were they lubed up? You know how, I mean, Eugene was talking about, like, lubing
Were they
Jeremy
greased?
up.
Oh, with
yeah.
some oil?
Yeah. Oiling.
Oiling? No,
No.
no. He was
Okay.
fully dressed, unoiled. Because that was the thing they would do. They did a wrestling match, and then they did some comedy, and then they did a wrestling match, and then they did some comedy. Yeah, I don't know. I loved it. I saw some of the flaws in it just because some of the people that were there for the wrestling were wrestling fans.
Oh.
And like
And so then the laughs didn't hit.
well, there's the whole thing of like part of wrestling is the solid heckle.
Oh, okay.
Like the heel comes
Okay,
out.
so that was coming.
So the heel, if you know your
Yeah.
wrestling terms, the bad guy, the heel
Yeah.
comes out, and you're like, "Get a job! Go back to where you came from."
So they were doing that?
sort of thing. Well, they just
As-
were not behaving properly always, which, as a worshiper of chaos, delighted me. But at the same time, I was like,
Okay, yeah.
I thought it was great.
We'll have to. I hope
It's-
we're in
it's-
town next time. I
Yeah.
think she'll do it again.
I
If it
hope
was-
so.
Yeah.
I don't know what you'd bill it as because it's definitely its own beast.
Yeah. Yeah. To have
It's
a
its
ring.
own beast.
Yeah, well, when she was telling us about it, she talked about, and I don't want to give anything away, but continuing
Yeah.
it.
I hope so.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so it could be a...
It was packed. I had a blast.
Oh,
Was it
I
really?
Oh
Wow.
yeah, it was
Wow.
packed. Like I kept
No, we
moving
missed
further and further back because I got in on the comedian ticket.
Yeah. We get in on the podcaster ticket
Yeah.
Yeah.
as the official podcast of the lounge.
Yeah. See, and
Which
I
is
try
awesome.
not
Thank
to.
you, Jen.
Yes, thank you, Jen. God bless you. I try really hard to never abuse that privilege. I always try to be like as far back as possible.
Yeah, like out of the way. You
Yeah.
don't
And
want to get, yeah.
like
course.
try not to disrupt the wait staff and whatever. And
yeah.
if it gets too full, I'll step out in the hallway. You know.
Of course. Yeah. If she's got pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm never going to steal a paid seat from
No,
any
no, no.
performer. Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah.
This job is too hard. This is insane stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's funny when we, because sometimes we'll have like a reserve table there. The funny thing at Sam Tripoli, Jen came up to us. We were in line, we don't ever think we can go to like the front of the line or anything like that.
We're just like, sorry to be here.
But Jen saw us in line. She's like, oh, I got your table right over here. It was right in the corner. It was a cool bar top, the high top ones.
Yeah.
And then Brian, I guess he didn't know. He wasn't familiar with us. He comes up to us. He goes, you guys can't sit there. That's a reserved table. But it was reserved for us. We're like, Jen sat us here.
We're like, sorry, but Jen said we could be here.
Yeah.
That I had a little bit of a moment. Like, we need to have our own, like, little wristbands or something. Yeah. Because, like, when I went to the SmackDown, Brian was like, oh, yeah, Taco, come on in. And I was like, okay. And but then security showed up, because I showed up early because I wanted to see the whole layout and talk to my homies and whatever. And like, are you excited? I mean, the comedians were like, this is so crazy. This is so awesome. And I was like, I know. It hadn't even started yet. Just seeing the ring set up in there and everything. And I was like, because I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting that. I was like, you guys are going to perform in the ring. No way. I was like so jazzed. I could barely hold my shit together. And but then security shows up to run the door and didn't see Brian let me in. And I went to go to the bathroom, and then I'm coming back in, and I felt really bad because he's like holding up the whole line because there's a line of people trying to come in. He's like, where did you come from? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Doing his job. Yeah. But Brian and nobody that knows me is around, and I'm like, And finally Eugene comes around and is like, oh, she belongs here. I was like, at least put her wristband on me.
Okay, that's a thing.
Yeah. I don't want to get in fights.
Get lanyards with IDs.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
From Wayne's World it through. Yeah.
Like a permanent, like you get to a certain point and you get like a pass, like a 3-month pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
maybe
your
there's
picture.
Different statuses of passes,
I sort of belong.
Well, if you guys are going to be the official podcast,
yes,
then you definitely need like a lanyard pass with your pictures and like
The thing is, I feel like we're super noticeable.
Make them.
Like usually my hair's like bright something, and he's bald. So like, I feel like together, like, right? I mean,
I've been thinking about doing something since I let the gray go. I had a purple for a hot minute.
What about a streak or two? I feel like
I don't know.
I think it could.
I don't know.
It'll wash out.
See,
in a week.
I know.
What about purple? Yeah,
I had purple.
Streak of pink.
I had it all purple for a long time. And then I was like, no. Because, when you get past a certain age and you're single. It actually is. Well, no, there's a thing. And you're single and you have weird hair color.
What does that mean?
Lesbian. And you just don't.
Oh, yeah.
And
your
you
son thought I was a lesbian.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Short hair and
I was like, I'm looking hot and I'm not getting any of these dates. And then one of the guys was like, well, I just totally pegged you for a lesbian. And I was like, oh.
Dang, that sucks.
I know.
Dang.
Oh my God, I don't feel like that's fair.
Where you like, don't sexually appropriate my haircut.
My hair color.
Yeah.
Don't assume my pronouns or my standing or whatever based on my hair color.
Yeah.
But it's totally a thing.
Especially past a certain age and single.
Yeah.
Like that is a thing.
Yeah.
Obviously not a universal truth I can testify to, but
I think your hair looks awesome this color.
It almost looks like it has a purple tint to it.
Yeah, it really does.
Actually.
I did shampoo it, and I do
use the purple shampoo.
Yeah, so that it doesn't
I just got turned on to the purple shampoo.
You gotta use the purple. But if you're doing it too often, it will start getting purpley.
But I was like, is that bad? I don't know. We'll see.
It keeps it from getting
I'm
weird
using it
yellowy.
Daily. Yeah, so I might be purple soon. The whole thing. Who knows?
I'm gonna stay bald.
I heard that. Sorry, little snort that I like so much.
I try not to do that. It's deviated nasal septum.
It's actually not a plus. It just sounds cool.
I just keep trying to
snorting.
I try to. Okay, so I used to break my nose all the time because I'm ridiculously clumsy, and I was like, oh, I'll get that fixed if I can go 5 years without breaking my nose. Oh, well, I did finally, but. Now I don't have health insurance.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that sucks.
Dude, do what he did.
I quit my job and I got free health insurance.
Yeah, you may not have.
I'll have to give you the number of I went through an insurance broker,
which we thought
I'd never heard of a health insurance broker before.
No, I know it's a thing.
Yeah, I had never heard of it, but a coworker told me about it, and so I called them up, and I get free health insurance now. Yeah, and so I have like a copay of $45.
Like occasionally, the caseworker.
At this juncture,
yeah.
But that's one of those things, though.
Andrew.
Like when I was, and how old?
Exactly.
Is he tall? I prefer a short man, to tell you the truth. Under 5'10". But if he's over and there's some benefits, I could reassess. Totally reassess.
But we didn't know about this. We're like, that's some crazy shit. Like free. I mean, I felt like it was free, but it actually is free.
Yeah.
They give you grants, like based on your income.
Really? This isn't the Medicaid? Because I know with the Medicaid, like if you have assets, forget it.
No, it's not Medicaid. No, it's you do apply like through health and welfare. But and then they give you a grant, monthly grant, and it just goes right to your health insurance. I think my monthly grant is $458, and I think my health insurance premium is like $420 or something like that. And so it just pays for all that.
I'm gonna have to find a broker because last time I looked into it, I was like all confused. Because head traumas and age,
and it's free. You don't have to pay them anything.
He is paying zero.
And
we're
insane.
like, what the hell? Like, and what have we been doing for 10 years?
I know, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And mental health, I found out, you just pay your copay. It waives the deductible. Like if you want to go to counseling,
and we do.
Yeah, we do. Everyone needs some fucking counseling.
Oh my God! At this point, there should be. No. It should just be
mandatory.
like huge clinics. Like
you're all fucked.
Yeah. Any of those big corner stores at the mall that is closed down, they just need to put in a bunch of cubicles.
Yeah.
And you just sign and wait.
Yeah, wait.
And just wait.
I got shit.
Yeah. And I got so much shit. I got so much shit,
dump it on somebody.
Oh my God. I can't carry this around anymore. Yeah, no doubt.
I didn't think I had any shit until we got together.
No, I was like, you have tons of shit. Look at you. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing, though. Like, you've got a family dynamic where your mental illness dovetails in with other people's mental illness, so you feel like this is the way things should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you came out this human, and then you were changed as you went down the line, and you thought things were real that maybe aren't, and
there's a lot.
It's a whole thing.
This is all things. No, these are all things.
Messed up. It's not bad. You're not super bad.
I'm not super bad.
Like
the people that scare me the most that are like, I am completely normal. And it's like, take 2 steps back and repeat that statement.
Yeah.
Because you're scaring the shit out of me.
No.
Terrifying people.
Yeah.
I know. So, I guess I got some shit to fix.
You're a human over the age of 20.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
It's a foregone conclusion.
I actually feel, it should be mandatory at like 22 when you can maybe, or 25 when you start thinking
Under
clearly.
25 when your brain is more malleable.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that I get aggravated. So many, my younger, like we were talking about that, I know so many younger people, and they're like, I don't know what to do. I was like, go to a professional. I can't help you. Go to a professional before, because people try to, when you're younger, it's like, oh, like I'm older and I can't change. That is a thing. Your brain dynamic starts calcifying and locking
this is
down.
How we are.
And this is the way things run.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's still kind of fluid.
Yeah. Maybe go see somebody.
I'm not going to say they're going to fix it, but they can make it. It's easier to make it better.
Yeah. True. True. And I feel like it's way easier to tell other people's kids that than your own kids. Right?
Tell what?
Just to like maybe go get counseling, because I told your kids, or Asher and River, to go get counseling.
Yes.
Like I feel like it's just you should at 18.
Yeah,
you've probably been fucked up some way. Like,
sorry.
Yeah.
I have an adult son that I've told him that a number of times too, that it's like, Mom's not perfect.
No, just
I know I've made mistakes. Yeah. And there are going to be things that harmed you that I'm not even aware of because that's just my style. Yeah. That's just the way something in the way I deal with the world impacted you. And there was no malice or anything. I was just like any other human being doing the best that I could.
Yeah.
With the tools I had available. And let's bear in mind that mine are redneck, fucked up
and then
rock tools.
As you know more, you know better, you do better. Whatever. But in the meantime, like, sorry. That was what I knew.
Yeah.
As I pulled both my mics out.
Yeah.
How's that?
Now, and you, and I'm asking this because I've worked with a lot of autistic children. Do you have an autistic child?
Yes. My son is autistic, and he's a delight.
Yeah.
When he first got diagnosed, of course, I was terrified, like everybody is.
Of course.
And then as things went along, it was like
age?
He was 3. That's pretty typical. 3.
Okay.
It's like, this kid is different.
Yeah.
You know, some of his early symptomology, because he had savantism, like he started reading without us doing anything.
Yeah.
Like he barely talked, and I didn't even know he was reading because we'd be driving down the road and he'd be like, Pizza Hut, you know, whatever. And it's like, oh, he's just recognizing the symbol. And then I'm like wrapping some Christmas presents, and he walks up and he goes, Noel, Noel, and walks away. And he's like, 2.
God.
And I was like, and he wasn't speaking really at that point. And I was like, okay, maybe this kid can read. And I started writing down. I got a piece of paper. I was like, buddy, come here. And he was like, pizza, independent of Pizza Hut, you know. So it was like, oh, he's a genius.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean,
he's different.
Yeah.
He's different. And, you know, he's got a good job and he's self-sufficient and whatever.
That's amazing and awesome.
But, wow, it's a weird world to be autistic. The social justice warrior movement is not doing him any favors.
How so?
Well, he would prefer to be called Asperger's.
Okay. Well,
which is not acceptable.
Oh, why? I thought
everybody's autism spectrum.
I changed it to autism 1.
Autism spectrum.
Yeah.
Well, he has it, and he prefers
Asperger's.
Okay. And he's gotten chewed out by people who say that's not proper, but it's his disorder.
Wow.
It's his thing.
Yeah.
He gets to call it, if he wants to call it potato salad, he can call it potato salad.
Yeah.
And so, you know, but he does really well. He's got a great job at the Brickyard, and he loves working in the kitchen. My stepdad, his grandpa, really my dad, he had a career in the Navy and then got into kitchens and was pretty much a retired chef. And so him and my son bonded in the kitchen. So big surprise, my son, who's a math genius, I thought he was going to go to college for that. No, he wants to work his way up in a kitchen. So started in the dish pit at the Brickyard.
That's really cool, though.
And is like moving on up. And I know some of the people that work there, and they're like, you know, I'm not going to lie, we kind of teased him at first because he's so weird. And I was like, I know, I've met him. He's so weird. He's like, but he fits right in, and he's a good worker, and it's all very important to him. And, you know, we all love him, and we wouldn't want anyone else.
No.
And it's like, he doesn't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah, he loves this. Awesome.
Wow, nice.
And he has his own place?
He lives with his dad, but he pays his own rent.
Oh, wow.
And whatever.
That's amazing.
Just because it's closer to...
Huh? What's that?
We've never gotten rent.
No, not from kids coming back and staying with us.
He's killing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's buying a car, paying rent.
Wow.
Doing really well.
Awesome.
And then I'm with the 16-year-old girl, and there's that big age gap.
Yeah.
She had a hard time early on in school because, for lack of a better term, the way her brother behaved, and he has a lot of idiosyncrasies, this was normal.
Right.
So she had a rough launch there for a while because, you know, you kind of accommodate a special needs child, regardless of what their special needs are. And she thinks some of these things are, you know, and I'd have teachers be like, hey, have you had Violet tested for this, and this? And I'd be like, her older brother, who she adores, is 7 years older than her and autistic. And they'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So she's just picking up some of the traits.
She's just picking up,
Oh, wow.
you know.
Wow.
Interesting.
Like, he went through a what do they call it? You'd say something to him and he'd just repeat it over and over again.
And so she picked that
And
up.
we would make a joke out of it because what else do you do?
Yeah.
You can get annoyed. He's not going to stop.
No.
Yeah.
And so I'd start going right along with him and she'd start going along. And this is what we
Right.
do. We march
Yeah.
around the kitchen and say this word over and over again. And it's funny.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
That's a thing because there was my ex-wife worked at Red Lobster for a long time, and there was an employee there that had Down syndrome. Also, the employee's sibling worked there that didn't have Down syndrome, but totally appeared like she did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You emotionally accommodate. You just do.
Wow.
It's you may find a way to fit everybody in.
Yeah. Because when we're taking care of mom, we're saying like, "You hungry?" I mean, we're saying like short Alzheimer's-y sentences.
Yeah, just kind of these are the main words.
Yeah.
The point I want to get across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when somebody else walks in, we're like, "Oh, we can have a whole conversation."
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to tell you my whole life. Yeah.
See, and I understand the desire to do that because I worked in a nursing home too when I was very young, and I all my grandparents are gone now, and I've had to take care of some very senior people, and they're more there than you think.
Yeah. No, we've had
And
just this week experienced a situation like that.
you just just act like everything is normal, and then they start getting weird, and you just improv. Yes, and so the monkey. Don't try to correct them. They just get upset.
Never.
You just, yes,
yeah.
and.
Yeah.
Those were the best times I had with my grandma.
When, like, lately, sometimes when I say to mom, yeah, and she's like, really? And I'm like, oh, shit, what did I just say I did?
Like, yeah, agree too.
Like,
Yeah,
sometimes she would be scrutinizing me, and I'm like, of course. And so, who knows? But
Gotta pay attention and stay on your toes. But like some of the best moments I had with my grandma was just like, okay, this is where we're gonna go then.
Yeah. So my mom is still like, kind of under her breath making plans. She's like, so we're gonna meet you there, and then I'll be over here. And do you want to drive with me? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to drive with you. And she's like, all right, but I don't know where we're going. I don't know. Yeah,
It'll just keep talking, and she'll be on the next
Yeah.
tangent. Just keep talking. Whatever. Go for a walk. Put her in a wheelchair if she can't walk. Whatever, and just like cruise around. And hey, did you notice those? Just keep it going.
Yeah,
keep
I
it
talk
going.
about everything with her.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like today, I tell her like she's at the point where she can barely respond some days, but I tell her everything. Like, hey, mom.
Yeah, you still talk to her.
Yeah, I do.
Just like you're having a
As
conversation.
Yeah,
because I mean, I need it, and she's still talking. Like, yeah, she was still talking when I left today.
Not coherent or
no.
Hard to hear, but she's saying things.
Yeah.
She's like got like some kind of thought going on.
Yeah.
that
Super
forms,
strange
like,
phenomenon that
sounds.
those people often remember things 40, 50 years ago, way back.
Yeah.
So ask, just bring up something random or bring them some music from when she was that age.
So important.
And
show her
just
pictures.
And just let her give her the space, and you'll just like, I don't know. Like I said, when I had some of the best times with my grandma when she was.
I think it's the best.
Kind of derailed.
Yeah. So my grandma that lived to be 100 at like 98, 99, she's like, Wendy, I went back every summer, but she's like, Wendy, you got to come back. We're planning my funeral. I was like, fuck yeah, we are. Yeah. So I flew back, and we like made all these boards.
With poster boards.
With, pictures.
And
that
she got to pick
selected.
the ones?
Yes, she selected them. And then 2 years later, I was with Chris, and I was like, first, we went to her 100th.
I wasn't with you when you made these pictures.
No, but then we were together, and we went back to her 100th birthday, and a month later, her funeral. And I was like, oh, shit, we made these boards. Grandma and I made these. She's okayed all this. It was so cool.
So cool.
Yeah, it's so cool that they think that that's cool. Because I was like, I'm totally in. This is amazing.
So, and that was one of the things, like when my grandma died, that I was so pissed about. So my mom is this huge sports fan, football and baseball, and she'd put together one of those boards of grandma, and I see grandma in this outfit throwing a baseball, and I was like, she was in the women's league? I never knew that. And my mom was like, she's like, that's why I'm into baseball.
Oh my
geez.
God.
I was like, she's like, before I was born, yeah, she was in the league of her own.
So cool.
She was one of those gals.
Oh, wow.
And I never knew. And my mom was like, of course you knew. And I was like, trust me, I did not know.
Of course I did not know.
And if I would have known, I would have asked Gran about that touring with the baseball team during the war. Hello, Dolly.
Oh my God.
Hello, Dolly.
That's amazing.
That would have been so awesome to hear about. Wow. I'm so excited. I'm like clapping my hands. I get excited.
Of course, that's so cool.
Yeah, but it's not good on a podcast to make those kind of noises. But
wow. Did she have any memorabilia or anything from that time?
Other than pictures, like the picture that my mom had put up, it was like her, that was like her baseball card picture. Mm-hmm. And I would love to get a copy of that baseball card. Yeah. And now all of a sudden, and I'm not into sports at all, but I want to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame because they have all the ladies league players there.
You should.
And I want to go get a picture with Grandma's name.
That'd be cool.
That would be so cool.
Yeah. Where's that located?
Cooperstown. Isn't it Cooperstown? I don't know. I'm not into baseball.
Yeah, neither am I.
What state?
What?
What state?
Indiana, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not into sports either.
Yeah, but
unless
that's
it's
cool.
Snowboarding or like roller derby, because I used to play that.
There's your snort. I love your snort.
I get annoyed. Yeah, well, I didn't know that there was dude roller derby, which is so sexist. That's what I snorted about. I was like, that's so sexist. Such a sexist thought to have. So what kind of nylons did you wear?
I wore socks, but I can show you a picture. But no, there wasn't. So back in the day. He started it. So back in the day, when I lived in California, we used to go watch roller derby live at like the Cow Palace in San Francisco and stuff like that. And it was co-ed then, but it was like all women on the track at one time, and then it'd go to the next quarter and it'd be all men on the track.
Right.
And so I remember like from that time, so like men played roller derby. Well, this is like 2010, and there had been like a rebirth of roller derby, and it was like almost strictly female. Mm-hmm. And I remember men being involved. So one day I'm driving around and I see like a Treasure Valley Roller Girl sticker on someone's car. And I was like, well, I wonder if there's like a men's team around here or anything. So I emailed the site, their website, and they're like, no, there's not a men's team, but one of our referees is trying to start one. And I got in contact with him, and we started a men's team here. And
Skull Crushers.
Capital City Skull Crushers, yes. And so, I played for 5 years. It was very hard to get men to roller skate. So now that team has turned in, has gone through like a couple phases and actually is now a co-ed team.
No, I can't. Okay.
I'll bring up a photo
during the wrestling show, because like I said, I'm really into wrestling myself, like physically doing it myself, and I love to do it, which is problematic when you're a teeny tiny woman, because like you get around these guys that make it, oh really, they get all fucking gross, and it's like, tuck your peen in.
How tall are you?
5'2". And they get all, you want to wrestle sometime? It's like, keep your nasty nutsack to yourself, you fucking douche canoe. So, because I'm serious about it. It's not a sexual.
Okay, yeah, that's me right there in the
orange.
And
you don't want a hip check.
Oh my God. So, that's cool. That is really cool. Like the same thing as like hockey or lacrosse. You're doing that same hip check.
Yeah.
But so Jeremy Nelson and I were critiquing the wrestling at the after the SmackDown.
Okay, cool.
And talked about the choreography, and it's like, well, this is like way more believable. Like these amateur, because this is like a local. They were good. They put on a good show.
Okay.
But there were things they could have done.
Okay.
Choices they could have made that would have
made it cooler,
look cooler, different holds, different slaps. Instead of, and Jeremy and I were talking about it. And Dustin Shalafo, another great one of my fellow short and angry comedians, it's like, why is Jeremy talking to Tanya about? Well, I'm the only other one that has as much experience wrestling as he does, like physically doing it. Yeah. And he was like, oh, tell me about like the whole, you do some. I was like, you've watched far too many kung fu movies. Here's the reality: at $140 and 5'2", an average sized man with slightly better than average strength is gonna fucking ragdoll me. Period. Full stop. They get a hold of me, they are going to ragdoll me. They have the strength to yank me off my feet. There's nothing I can do about it. In a real fight situation, I have a few tactics to get him down on the ground, curb stomp him once good, and run away. That's my...
Balls and eyes?
Balls and eyes.
Yeah.
And then curb
knees,
stomp.
Yeah.
Knees, get him down. Okay. Well, and curb stomp and then run away. Okay. Quick curb stomp and then run away because they stay down a little bit longer. That's
fine with stomping.
One good curb stomp, you're not very likely to kill them, especially in my weight class. I don't want to go to prison for murder, but
right. Also don't want to be raped.
Or whatever.
There's that. Yeah.
None of that.
And then there's the whole rotating your arm, like if they grab you, like that's a good one to know.
Okay.
Like somebody grabs you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here.
Okay.
You demonstrate.
Okay.
So typically, if someone grabs you,
yes,
it's going to be, but you're going over the microphone.
Okay.
Oh.
So that's what's ruining this.
Okay. Let's demonstrate.
So I don't know this.
You're going to grab, most people grab kind of like that.
Okay. And look how small her hands are.
So
Jesus.
If you whip your arm around towards that thumb,
you can get out of it.
But you might have to use
Let
your
me see your hand.
I know. I'm child size.
This is actually.
I am child size.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
You're
those
like
are
my
tiny.
friendly Ann. Yeah,
Oh,
you have
tiny.
Do you buy child size shoes?
So I can.
Okay, yeah.
So that is actually the same technique we are taught. If a psych patient grabs you, you get the weak point of the grip, with fingertips, and you pull out of that
towards their thumb.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing if you want to hurt them and they grab you and you get a hold of their thumb, you push that thumb out.
Wow.
I don't let you do that in psych.
No.
The other one.
But
let me see it again. She's loving this.
I am.
Look at that.
I am not.
Look at that little. Hold it up. Just. Oh my god. I feel like a giant.
I am.
You're 5'3"?
5'2".
Okay, 5'2". I'm 5'8". That's 6 inches, but dang.
No, like that's like I am child size. Well, and I had my ex-husband was quite large, so both of my children, like my daughter was my height when she was 10.
Wow.
Which was tough. Because my husband and I were divorced, and I can remember one incident in particular. She was sick and on the couch. And I was like, it's time to go to bed. And she's like, carry me to bed. And I was like, you are the same height and weight as I am. I actually can't. So you're going to have to get your ass. I was like, we made it fun, though. I was like, here's a blanket. Lay on the blanket. I'll drag you. I'll drag you to your bed.
God.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
Wow. So we haven't even really talked a lot of comedy yet, much at all. But
should we talk comedy then?
I guess so.
Okay, all right.
Physical. Are you? We felt like
so
we were.
So we've only seen you once.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I'm very
well,
and just the way.
The arms.
I use the whole stage often, which means I love the big stages that we don't get very often.
Okay.
Like okay. We have to start at the beginning.
Okay.
So, I had been told my whole life that I belonged on the stage. And I was always like, you guys are delusional. You guys think I'm funny because you know me.
Yeah.
I'm not really that funny. You're crazy, whatever. And I was raised, Grandma worked for Harrah's for many years. She was a pit boss. So I was raised entertainment adjacent.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know about this, but like in the old casino circuit, it was like singers were number one, and it went on down and then it was male comedians and then dancing girls and then cigarette girls. And then all the way at the bottom was female stand-ups.
God.
Like you are the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, God.
So that kind of colored my opinion.
Yeah.
And then I was married for years to someone well, he's not a bad person, but he was not a good husband.
Okay.
Especially not for me.
Yeah.
Very much, I was too loud. Too aggressive. To this, to that. Anything. I was too. And it used to annoy him very much that we'd have an experience with friends, and after the fact, we'd be together. Tell the story. Have Tanya tell it, because she tells it better.
Right.
And he was one of those people that facts were more important than a good story.
Yeah.
Which means he was really shitty storyteller.
Yeah.
But he would get offended that we'd be hanging out with friends and nobody would ever ask for his version of the story. Of course. And we'd be driving home and he'd be, well, that's not exactly what it happened. Well, I know that's not exactly how it happened.
Fucking cool story.
But if you leave in that long part in the middle, it's slow and the pacing sucks. You got to cut. And if you put that, that happened, but that didn't happen there. I know, but if you put it before the other thing, it makes for a funnier story.
Yeah,
I'm not totally making shit up. It all still happened, and everybody else that was there, and they like it when I tell,
Oh my God.
And I would get well, you think you're so funny. You think you're so funny. So I get divorced and I'm falling apart. Right. That was like a year that you could write a country song about, because he came home from work. He finally had a job. And was like, I talked to my mother and we decided I'm moving out. And I was like, when? And he's like, today. And like packed a bag. Wow. Yeah. And so I have to figure out how to be a single mother when I was not the gal that ever planned to be a mother, period, full stop.
Dang.
And then shortly after that, I got diagnosed with cancer. And then not long after that, it was like, oh, and your job is going away.
Wow.
Like rapidly in a 6-month period.
Like, how strong are you?
Yeah. Like, this is your test of your mettle. And it kind of broke me mentally to the point of, I have been avoiding the stage. So 45 years old, I'm like, I'm going to try stand-up comedy, which is so dumb.
Like, why though? What?
Well, a homie of mine started, he's a musician that I've known since he was a child. He's significantly younger than I am, but he lives in the same neighborhood. It's complicated, but I've known him since he was a child. He started running the open mic at Eastside Tavern. And I don't know if you've ever been around a just starting up open mic. It's like, oh, you're supposed to fill 3 hours. Well, nobody knows about it. And it's like, oh, get up there and tell some of your fucked up stories, Tanya. So I'm in.
I got some.
Let's go. And get up there and tell my fucked up stories. And like, people still go and crash. I love crash. That's my favorite thing to do. Any comedian listening to me right now, if you want to have the most amazing experience, the worst decision you will ever make in your life is to crash a music mic.
Really?
With some comedy?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
You will never work so hard and feel so good for failing as you will then when you my favorite, still to this day, my favorite moment on stage ever.
Oh my God, that'd be so funny.
Is crashing the Pengilly's Monday night open mic, because that's a very serious songwriters mic, or at least it used to be. I think it hasn't started back up again. And I respect the lady that runs it, and all the people, like all my friends were musicians, and I was like, I'm going to put my name in the bucket. And that one's always packed.
Really?
They never get all the way through. And I was like, what is the likelihood I'm going to get drawn?
Of course. What are the odds?
Ding, 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 ding! Of course. Let's go, champ. So these people are expecting like serious songwriting. And I jump up there and I am like, and not a single laugh.
Oh, God.
Not just stunned. Slack-jawed.
There's some weird experimental music.
What is this? And then I was like, thank you, good night. And I walked off and went off in the back patio, and I was like,
oh, God.
I terrified a whole room. God, that felt so good.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm gonna have to take off my shirt. I'm getting hormonal here and flailing around.
Oh my God.
But yeah, crash a music
and just
mic.
destroy.
Yeah.
No, you're not gonna do well. They're gonna talk over you. It's gonna be a nightmare. You're gonna but it's gonna be. It will cleanse your palate.
Yeah.
Like so many of these people are spoiled, and they go to these club ones where everybody is expected to be quiet. They know they're supposed to be quiet and whatever, and they're spoiled.
Yeah.
Was your plan to fuck up the open mic?
No.
Oh, it wasn't.
I was just like, because I was going, because there wasn't a Monday comedy mic. And I was booked for BFP, and I needed the practice. And I was there with my friends who were all musicians, who were all songwriters there for legitimate reasons. And they actually instigated it. They were like, just go ahead. Like, there's 60 people. We've only got 2 hours. You're not going to get drawn.
Yeah.
Like,
And I talked to the gal that runs it, and I was like, are you? And she's like, comedy does not do well here. I'm just telling you right now. Comedy does not do well here.
I can't hear you. Yeah.
That doesn't, like, I don't know. Starting so late and with such a different, and I do use my body. I mean, it's like many people are like, the hardest part is figuring out who you are. I knew who I was before I put my foot on the board. I already had that part locked.
Yeah.
But then figuring out how to make people laugh consistently. I mean, that's the thing too. Like, I don't understand why people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think my comedy is funny.
Sometimes
I don't think my comedy. Like, if I'm going to listen to comedy, I like
really funny.
very like well written, well crafted things. And I'm a clown. Like, that's what I tell people. It's like, I'm more of a clown. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm comfortable with that. I made that conscious choice. It's like. Because in the end, like, laughing is precious. Laughing at yourself, the joke is me, and I'm utterly comfortable with it.
I feel like when somebody really owns it, you're like, oh fuck yeah, that's who you are. And I feel like you just came out and you're like, blah blah blah, pussy, douche, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Kind of angry feeling.
I watched a clip on your Instagram. I think you called the audience whores.
Yeah.
Oh, the heckler incident. Oh my God.
Yeah. So
tell us about this.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I think it was that Mad Swede.
Yeah. I'm vaguely, I don't know. I feel pretty ambiguous about that whole thing because, and there's been other ones, because it's like, okay, here we go. So many of these comedians are so much younger than me, and they are like my children to me, and I know how hard the work is, and until you've done it, you don't understand. And so many of them are trying to try out their new jokes. They are actual professionals. Some of these audience members don't believe it. And so there was a table right up front where this gal was just talking over everything and jumping in with stuff and telling people they sucked and whatever. And I just watched her tear apart. And one of my favorite little babies, Jack, 19 years old.
Wheeler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little baby Jackie. I'm very protective of him because he's like our third baby Jack.
Right.
That it's like they come in and it's like, you have something special. Yeah. And previous baby Jacks have been like, they do it for like 6 months and then they disappear and we never see them again. And it's like, okay, well, we figured out we need to give them special treatment.
Right.
Whether it's fair or not, that's not the point.
Yeah.
He's got something special.
Cool.
And I'm not going to let him run away easily.
Yeah.
So he goes up and he does some pretty hard jokes. Some pretty confrontational humor, which whoa. He comes to me, let's be like, he'll write something and he'll be like, so do you think that's going to offend people? And I'm like, yep,
yes,
it better. It better. Go do it.
Yeah.
Please.
Do it.
Oh, cool.
So she walked him. He didn't even do his full 3 minutes. He's like, and then went out the building. And I thought she walked him out of the building. I was like, oh, fuck this bitch.
Yeah.
And just got up there and was like, lit her up. It's like, sit down, shut up. I've had enough of you, you know?
Awesome.
And
yeah.
So Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, my fake anger is hilarious. My real anger, as little as I am, I will make you shit your pants.
Yeah.
I will make you shit your pants. Yeah. Because I can be terrifying. So, I need to work on that. But
you need to, but are you?
Probably not.
Right.
No.
Calcified brain, that whole therapy thing we talked about, there reaches a point where this isn't going to get fixed. So, yeah. And, I work on it with meditation and mushrooms and whatever. And
tell us about the mushrooms. So, microdosing.
For 4 years.
Okay, so a lot of people have started doing that. What have you noticed? What are the positives?
Well, I started doing it because of I was on antidepressants. Mm-hmm. Big shocker. And it was like they worked. I'm not going to bag on antidepressants. Right. They worked, but I couldn't sleep 8 hours. Oh, I didn't sleep very much. I didn't enjoy food anymore, which was great for this, but I love food.
Right.
Yeah.
Like my dad is a retired chef, so he makes us filet mignon for fun.
Yeah.
I love to eat. I want to enjoy eating. And then there was the whole no orgasm thing.
Oh, really? Oh, that went away.
Mama, would not play with that. It's like, okay, so I have nothing to live for. I feel great, but I have nothing to live for. Awesome. This is actually a bit, but I'm just doing it in talkie. And that's when I was like, I need to find something else.
Yeah.
I need to find something else. And a homie of mine who is a for real pharmacist, not like a fake pharmacist.
Other friends.
Yeah, we're talking about somebody that actually went to pharmacy school,
has a little paper,
and works in a pharmacy.
These things are good for your brain.
He was like, "Have you read any of these articles about microdosing?" Because I've known him since I was a child, and he was like, "I know you've done hallucinogens. You're not one of those people that are going to be afraid of it." And I read and read and read.
So had you done mushrooms prior? Or no?
Oh, yeah. And LSD and all kinds of crazy stuff.
But had never microdosed.
But wasn't even aware of microdosing. So then I grabbed together my little council of assistants, including I have the friend that's an actual pharmacist. I have the friend that's a therapist. Nice. And then I have a friend that's an MD doctor.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And I was like, okay, this is what I intend to do. And they all said the same thing. While our licensure prohibits us from condoning this.
Sounds like a great plan.
We will monitor you.
Oh, nice.
And see what and give a unbiased opinion.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And so it doesn't work as well as an antidepressant, I'll say that. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I have full life functionality. If I want to sleep, I can sleep. If I want to come, I can come. Yeah. If I want to eat a steak, I can eat a steak without having weird random, I don't want this in my mouth. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have.
Is it a dosage thing? Maybe you haven't hit the right amount?
With the antidepressant?
No, I mean with the
mushrooms. Because there is that whole thing. Oh, God. And God bless you if you're thinking about microdosing, I would strongly recommend not.
Oh, really?
Because it is hard. It is hard. And I had a lot of support. Like, I have 3 medical professionals, personal friends, helping me out. Mm-hmm. And it was a long haul before it got to where I was like, oh, okay. Because the first thing first, a lot of those, you want to be completely clean of whatever you're taking, the anti-anxiety meds. Because a lot of people are on an antidepressant and an anti-anxiety medication. Yeah. Which are contraindicated to put hallucinogens on top of it. You're running a high risk of a permanent psychotic break.
Right.
Yes.
So you have to be
not looking for
completely clean.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
So that can take 2-3 weeks, depending on what you're on.
So your shit just, I worked in psych for almost 9 years.
Yeah. So your shit is, well, and when you're kind of going through pseudo withdrawal, especially anti-anxiety drugs are really addictive. Mm-hmm. So you are off the fucking rails for 3 weeks.
To,
crashing depression and crushing anxiety, followed by I'd never had a manic episode before. All of a sudden, I'd come out of it and have a manic episode, and it's like, what is wrong with me? I don't know what's going on. And then panic attacks.
Where are the mushrooms?
What is going on?
Yeah.
And so I finally get like where it's safe for me to do it. And then it's like, you don't know how much to take. And there's message boards for it, but it's kind of on the down low and nobody wants to get in trouble. Of course. Yeah. So I tried LSD first, which was really difficult because you have to like take a stamp, use an X-Acto knife, cut it in 10 little strips.
A tiny thing.
Soak it in alcohol.
Oh, God.
And it's one of those things like they're not all, it's not like they very carefully put a dropper on each.
These are probably high dealers. When they do it.
Yeah.
These are drug dealers. Yeah. No. So I was like, I can't go with that. And that's when I fell onto shrooms because although you have similar things with mushrooms, that they're different potency each one. Mm-hmm. So like some of these things are people like, you eat just the cap or the stem or whatever. It's all horseshit. Yeah. It's still a crapshoot. Yeah. If you buy a bunch and you grind it up in a coffee grinder and you have a homogenized powder.
That's a good idea.
It's more consistent. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you get your little anti-static measuring spoons from Amazon. You can get a set that's like 1 gram all the way down to 1/8 of a gram. And then you have your little jar and it's like
pumpkin bread.
Here we go.
We're doing it.
Wow.
It's right on the tongue.
Just bonk. I do. Some people like to put them in capsules or whatever.
Yeah.
I just bonk with the coffee. But yeah, that was because I still had like a corporate job.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of days where it's like I get into work, I park the car, I start going up in the elevator and go, this is not the right dosage.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
A little bit of sizzle on the little bit of sizzle on the edges, and I'm going to be
is it the right dosage?
Real easy laugh all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's like a specific laugh when you're just like lightly tripping balls. It's like,
yeah.
And everybody's like,
wasn't that funny?
That's a little much.
Yeah.
A little much.
But I thought everybody's face was dripping there for a second.
No, not quite. Just a little sizzle, and you're a little, like you did a couple shots fast.
Okay.
Because that's the other thing, too. Like Jeremy Nelson will tell you, maybe I shouldn't have said that. One of my buddies will tell you.
He was on our podcast.
And talked about shrooms.
Mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I, got hanging around, because if you're cruising around and going, who is the person that is in deep with psychedelics? Mm-hmm. You don't look at the 5'2", 50-year-old woman and go, that's her. That's the one. So I started getting to know Jared. Jared and I are bonded.
Oh, nice.
And I started talking about all this stuff with hallucinogens and whatever. And he's like, do you know a lot? And I was like, here we go, brother. Here we go, brother. And I got him hooked on, because like a lot of people that want to do mushrooms recreationally, quite frankly, they do too much. They buy an 1/8, and that's just enough where you're going to start tipping over into Terrence McKenna, summon your demons to fight or cuddle.
Yeah.
And that's not fun.
Right.
If you want to just have a little bit of fun and you want to do that sort of stuff, you get your little food scale, whatever scale.
I think that's a great idea.
And don't guess. Go a gram.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
Because most people buy an 1/8, which is almost 4.
Yeah.
And eat the whole thing.
Right. Or
it's
just
a little
guess.
much. Or just guess.
Yeah.
Just guess.
That seems equal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an adventure with one of my homies.
It never is.
So listening to the shuttle today, the episode you were on, I think
we did eat a little bit before that one too.
Jeremy was talking about how he did mushrooms, and then like next morning he had like a blood draw for like life insurance.
Yes. That was not me. I was not supplying that time.
Yeah.
We were not doing it together. We've had a couple of good trips together. But like people that don't do that sort of stuff, scale. Because we have made that mistake before too, where we're just hanging out chonk, and all of a sudden go, bro. That was a lot.
Yeah.
That was, in fact, too much. And he's like, I know. Damn it.
Hold on.
Hang on. The come up is going to be hard.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest trip you've had, or have you done DMT, or have you?
And I want to talk to you about flashbacks, because that was a topic.
And I super feel like I have had weed flashbacks from when
I was
lost
gonna
weight.
say I have a friend who had a bad trip and has flashbacks from that when he smoked weed after that.
Okay.
So let's hear your theory.
Okay. So I think that's actually PTSD. As we know, severe PTSD can cause a person to have flashbacks. As far as like people going the chicken or the egg kind of argument, it's like, okay, well, they wouldn't have had this internally traumatic experience without the chemical, but does the chemical cause you to have flashbacks? No, because I have dumped a metric fuck ton of that shit in me, and I have bad trips on purpose. Oh, because it's like, I call it like, you've heard of speed dating. It's like speed therapy. Like it's, and I'm a person of science and logic, and this always kind of falls into hippy dippy bullshit, and I get annoyed. But it is a factual thing that it's like, okay, I've got all these things going wrong. Is it this? Is it this? Oh no, the common denominator is me, so it's got to be something in me. All right, so we're gonna write down some intention. I have a sitter for me because you don't know how you're gonna behave.
Right.
Not for my kids. I never do this stuff around my kids.
Right.
But get a sitter for me, and it's like, okay, I have my intention. I read it, and I'm going to do a bunch of shit, and here we go. Party's on.
Wow.
And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. But, you know, either way, you're really fucking high. You're really fucking high.
At points, have you figured things out?
Oh, yeah.
Based on your intention?
Had revelations.
Oh, nice.
Had revelations, especially like the self-realization thing. Like, it's hard. Well, and that's where people fall apart, and you hear these people that are like crying. Like that moment where you really look inside and go, oh my God, this is all my poor choices.
Yeah, like
that can be so shattering that it's like, oh, this is all my fault. All this time I was blaming it on this and that and everything, but it's all my fault. Fuck. Yeah. And that's where you cry until you shit yourself.
Yeah. That's what being woke is.
Just crying until you shit yourself. Oh. But the flashback thing, it is and is not legit in my book, because I've never.
Okay.
Interesting, because I used to feel like I smoked when I was a kid and not until I was older. So in the period between like 20 and 40, there were times when I'd be like, oh shit, like my world was coming at me in like pieces and slowed down. I was like, oh my God. I felt like it was stored in my fat and it was released. Yeah, I don't know. But that's how it felt, because I was stone cold sober. And I'd be like, am I stoned again? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that can be a hormonal thing, because estrogen is trapped in your fat. And if you lose weight, and that estrogen gets released,
lose 50, gain 50 thing.
You can get.
So I was like,
fucking nutty out of the blue. It's when you get in the shower and cry really hard. It helps really fast.
For me, it's cry really hard.
Wherever you got to go to cry. Just that really good one where the snot is just running unchecked into your neck.
Like get on your lips a little bit.
That's the cry that you're going for, where you're just like, don't even you're just.
That's super pathetic. I can't even.
It's the best. It is so good for you to do that. I advocate at least once a year.
Nice.
At least once a year, like fucking surrender to that.
Yeah.
It's so good for you, because then afterwards you're like so cleaned out
of snot.
Yeah.
Of snot.
Have you ever, what's that one I want to do? Ayahuasca. Have you ever done that?
No, I have not.
What are your thoughts?
Well, that's another one of those, like, there's some of these natural ones, like I've done peyote, which is a similar thing. The shitting and the puking I could do without.
That's what I'm wondering about.
I think that is
strangers.
I think that's wholly superfluous. Because we know that there are things that will get you to that same level without the shitting and the puking.
Yes.
So
it wasn't different from any other awesome. You just added in.
There is a little bit of different. I mean, I think ayahuasca too has a similar trip time as shrooms, like 3 to 5, depending on the person.
There's a possible vomiting, shitting.
Definite vomiting and shitting with ayahuasca. I've never heard of anybody that I didn't vomit or puke. I didn't do none of that. Never heard of that. Well, and there are people that are sensitive to shrooms too, and
I almost vomit.
Yeah,
I get really nauseous, and I'm like, am I gonna puke? No. And then
yeah. There's
but
like
I've never microdosed shrooms.
No.
And I've actually never done a hallucinogenic.
That affected in the coolest
well,
way.
no, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say in like with like a therapy or like it was just to get fucked up, you know?
Right. Well, and there's a guy that's working on, because Oregon did the whole it's all decriminalized.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a guy that's working on putting a clinic in Oregon, like kind of central Oregon, for that sort of thing, which I think it just depends on the staffing, because a person is so vulnerable physically and emotionally when they are full balls deep on a trip. Like if you have anybody even vaguely predatory.
Oh, true.
Yeah, that can fuck you up.
Sexually or socially. Like you gotta give me favors, or you gotta give me money, or you gotta do this for me. You know, they're gonna be extremely vulnerable. So we'll just have to see how that all pans out. I know there's places that are working on doing that. I know there's ayahuasca clinics in Mexico for drug treatment.
Yeah.
I know. I personally, and it's like, this is another one of those hippy dippy things that I fucking hate. But I have a hippy dippy buddy that was like, I want to get my drinking and my weed smoking under control, and I want you to guide my trip. And it's like, I've never done this shit before.
Oh, wow.
He's like, well, just keep me on task and we'll talk it through. And it was work. Like, whatever they're going to pay. But yeah, he quit smoking and quit drinking. like,
wow.
Wow.
Boom, instantly, and I was stunned. I was like, okay.
Like, did you research how to do this, or you were like, drink, don't smoke?
No, it was just like, because it was just an open conversation, and you start talking about stuff, and it's like, but why do you drink? I just kept bringing it back to but why do you drink so much? Why do you always drink? Where did you learn that? That's all I did.
Yeah.
Like, he already had the questions. Wow. I just kept bringing him up. He'd start talking about what he was feeling and what he was seeing and what he was thinking. And I just kept, but the drinking. I just, I just didn't let him get away from it.
Yeah.
That's all I did. Yeah. I just held the picture up to his face. Look at this. Look at this. And didn't let him look away. Was all I did.
Yeah.
Nothing extraordinary.
Cool. That's cool, though.
Yeah. It was a long.
I was
like, I did this for free.
Sober?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. It's been a couple years too. I don't know if it's permanent, and I think a lot of it was him too, because that's the thing. Like, if somebody is ready, really ready, whatever your tool is, whether it's AA or private therapy, whatever, if they're really, really ready, it's probably going to work.
That's an awesome friend, though.
He's a pretty awesome guy. I mean, as hippy dippy as he is, like our age group, lots of second generation hippies, and I don't know how you feel about them. I'm not trying to dog on them; they're beautiful people, but fuck.
Yeah, we're the same, probably. Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. So I've been having a hard time sleeping. Oh, have you charged a moon crystal and set it on the side of your bed? I always sleep so well. Oh, your hormones. Get an amethyst. Get a blessed amethyst. Put it on your forehead when you meditate. Those estrogen. It's all that. Essential oils. Have you tried Melaleuca? Put Melaleuca on the bottom of your feet before you go to sleep. And it's like, shut up. Shut up. I love you. You're beautiful.
Of course.
They're beautiful and they mean well.
Yes. But no, I'm not fucking doing that.
They're because they are so certain. It's true.
Oh my God.
It's true. It's true. I read it on Goop. Oh, God. Okay, this is the thing that I've been spinning out about lately, too, that I have to bring up. Okay. So everybody is lighting off about Joe Rogan and his podcast.
I have that in my notes. Joe Rogan, Neil Young shit. Yeah. And everyone else followed behind.
Okay.
You go.
Okay.
Do it.
Let's go, champ.
Because I wanted to bring this up and ask you your thoughts.
So, I had a job, trolling the whole job, where I've listened to probably more young Jamie is probably the only one who's listened to more Joe Rogan than I have.
Really?
I am not joking you, because there are
Wow.
some of them that I've listened to over and over again, and people try to blame this and people try to blame that. Okay, there's always been credulous idiots in our culture, and we have it set up so that they're protected. You are perfectly protected to be as stupid as you want to fucking be, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
I need to calm down. I might need another shot. So,
Look at that.
okay. So, if you listen to Joe Rogan for your news, then you're going to get exactly what you deserve.
Yes.
And to try and blame it on Spotify and Joe Rogan is absolute idiocy. It's
Yeah.
capitalism. It's pure capitalism.
Yes.
Because Joe Rogan did not really take off until he got a corporate sponsor. Do we all remember what his first corporate sponsor it was?
No.
Oh.
Fleshlight.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Fleshlight?
fleshlight. So it's the fault of luxury masturbation.
Yes.
Is why
Yeah.
we are where we're at.
Yes.
And if we're gonna pin Joe Rogan to the ground, let's talk about the bitch that is in his same age group, Gwyneth Paltrow, who puts all this stupid happy horse shit on Goop and is never held culpable for all this stupid stuff she puts on there. And some of it is in fact dangerous.
Oh,
And if you
really?
think I'm joking, that whole vagina steaming thing that she had out, go the next
your
time you go to your
vagina.
GYN, go, hey, 4 years ago when vagina steaming was a thing, did you? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I had 3 women come in with burns.
Oh, God.
Because it purifies your chakras and blah, 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 blah.
Oh.
They're burning the shit out of their pussies.